Hey guys, in this video I wanted to talk about my experience with the German education system and how exactly were the exams there, because I think this is a very interesting question what many of you ask, that like how difficult is it compared to the Indian system. And I would say like maybe the Indian system is rather similar to the Bangladesh, Pakistani and Sri Lankan system, like more or less the Southeast Asian countries, they have like the similar pattern of examinations, which is rather very different from Germany. So like this is why I wanted to compare these things, and maybe like you're super interested about it. Let's see. So I'm going to break this video down into different sections, and I'm going to start it with presentations. So the first thing that you will notice in the German education system is going to be that a lot of the subjects, so still to get your 6 credits or 4 credits, 3 credits, whatever credits you have for that particular subject that you're studying in a German university, you will see many of them are actually evaluated on the basis of the presentations. So like how many different kind of topics you have to present about. In my own master's program, there was one subject where I had to give a presentation 3 times within that semester. So like that was kind of crazy. Also like kind of fun, because many a times these are the different things that you learn in the university that you do not get the opportunity of learning when you like quickly jump into the job. Whenever you are getting some kind of presentations as a task that you have to do in order to get your credits, then I would say like rather prepare for it very seriously, because the stakes right now are still very low. Like the stake right now is that maybe if you make a bad presentation, then the professor is going to give you bad grades, and the students still don't care enough. Like the students, your batchmates, they're not going to care like what kind of presentation you're giving. But as soon as you're giving the presentation in front of a crowd of, I don't know, 800 or 1000 people, then those things are going to like have a rather real effect. Because if you give a presentation in a very bad way, the audience gets bored or something, then you will hear it. If you're in the job, you give a presentation, it's a bad presentation, the slides are bad, the template is bad, you are just like completely in low energy, or you don't know what kind of audience you're talking in front of, then those things are also going to have a real effect on like what kind of promotion opportunities you will have. But in the university that doesn't matter so much, and you still have a lot of opportunities of preparing for the presentations very nicely. And this is very different from in India, because in India essentially in my bachelor's I had like 1 presentation, and that was among the 40 or 45 subjects that I studied in my bachelor's. And that presentation was also like just like give it, and you can read a paper in front of you and you can give the presentation and it's done. So but that's not the story here. In Germany, every single time I was doing the presentation, I was just like using a pointer always. That was always with me. I rather bought it for I think 5 euros or 10 euros, I don't remember, but I bought it secondhand on eBay, and yeah, I was using it every single time and it worked perfectly fine. The professors also see that you're more professional because you are like using a pointer, and like these small details, they matter a lot. So presentation is the first thing where the German education system and the Indian education system differ a lot. And I would say like the presentations are not so difficult in Germany, because they also account for that you are an international student, you don't know the German system. I think some tips that I can give for the presentation is that first of all, always cite your sources. So like whenever you're making an argument, like give the citation either at the bottom or towards the end of the slides. Then the second thing is, even when you're putting images inside, then also like you have to give the sources for them. Then the third thing, if you can somehow cite some work of the professor you're giving the presentation in front of, that's the bomb. You will have the best grades possible for that, because the professors will see, this student actually knew about this work, and he even if it is for the marks and he understands it, he still made the extra effort of doing it. So there you just have a big plus. Then the second thing I'm going to talk about is the written exams. So the written exams are so different. They are so different than what we are used to, and many a times it takes some time to get used to this new pattern. So in India, we are used to that you have a 3-hour exam and you have 5 questions to answer out of the 8 questions that you have. And those 5 answers, like sometimes you have to write for 10 pages, 20 pages, every single question. So that is like crazy. Like not 20 pages, I don't know, but I know people who do 20 pages too. So that's like not so unheard of. But 10 pages, I have actually done it myself, right? That is not the story here. Here you have to have very particular answers, and every single minute is counted as 1 point. So for example, you have an exam for let's say 90 points. 90 points mean the exam is going to be for like 1 hour 30 minutes, and then if you have a question in there which is supposed to be of 5 points, then that means you have to answer that question in 5 minutes. So you don't have so much time, and in those 5 minutes, the higher the quality of the answer, the better the chances are that you will get all of those 5 points to you. And it is also not unheard of that you get all of the points that a question is denoted, because in India we are like, you know, always thinking, yeah, if this question is of 15 marks, the maximum we will get is 12 or something, but like there is no system like that here. So that is another huge difference that I've seen for the examination patterns in Germany versus India or like other Southeast Asian countries. Now, just prepare well for them. That is the only thing I can say. Like, go through the scripts that the professors provide you a lot, and also like ask them the questions. The first class and the last class of the semester are like some of the most important ones, because the professors in the first class will tell you about the organization of the course, and in the last class they will tell you like some important themes or subjects which you should be focusing more on. So another super important thing to remember. Now, the third thing that I want to talk about is the seminars. So seminars are similar to the presentations, but there you sometimes have an additional part of a written assignment. So not only you have to present whatever you've done, but you also have to make a written kind of like assignment which also like summarizes everything. There again, you have to make sure that you're like really kind of sticking to the academic standards, which means no citations from Wikipedia, because Wikipedia is not considered as any kind of like scientific journal or like articles, because everybody can come and just edit it. So even if you're thinking about like using Wikipedia somehow, like go to what kind of argument or like sentence you're looking from on Wikipedia, then see the citation number like 1, 2, 3, 4, click on the link on like 1, then you will be sent to the source where like that particular citation is cited from. Now, if that source is a research paper or something, well, you're in luck. That's like really nice. If it isn't, then like you can sometimes cite the websites, but the professors don't encourage it so much. So again, like something that you should like really keep in mind. These things are really important even in seminars. Rest of the tips are the same like for your presentation spot. Then the fourth one is the written assignments, and again I've like talked about it in the previous case, like you have to like really think about the academic standards. The fifth one is the group work, and this is actually also a type of evaluation which consists a lot of your subjects. There you will see a group of like 2 to 3 people, sometimes even like 5 students coming together and like working on a specific task. There you also have to understand that sometimes it is like not bad at all if all 5 of you are like kind of dividing the task and then also writing the name alongside, you know, like what kind of part of that particular task that particular student has done. So when you like make somebody accountable that this person has done that, they're like more careful about the kind of work they're doing. So like if you're in any kind of group work, like suggest this idea that, you know, we write like who did what, so that we can grade this accordingly, and then everybody is graded fairly. Because if nobody writes what part they have done and then it is evaluated as a whole, you will always have people in the group who are like absolutely not serious about their work, and you will have people like you who are really serious about that work, because I mean, like who else watches educational YouTube videos, right? So that is the story. I mean, in those kind of cases, you can always like put that name on the side, and you can also like discuss in the team about that thing. And this then just like helps you get better grades, and also like helps essentially everybody gets better grades, because you were the person who suggested that, then everybody worked better on their tasks and everybody got better grades. This is just another thing that I've never seen in the Indian education system. I've seen it in my bachelor thesis, and I mean, bachelor thesis I think is a very, very bad start to like introduce group work, because I think it should be rather done earlier. Of course, like in the laboratories and everything you can do it, but the problem again comes that with the less amount of equipment, not everybody can like do the things by themselves. That was the case at least in my university, right? So like these are the 5 different distinctions that I found in the examination patterns. in the German education system and the Indian education system, and some tips and tricks that maybe help you out afterwards. If you have any other suggestions about like videos or like what kind of topics you want me to discuss, you can leave it in the comment section. And if you want to like seriously start working on your application process, because well, this is December and application portals have opened for the winter intake for the next year and also for this summer intake. So if you are thinking about like, you know, starting your application process right now, like this is a great time. And if you want some kind of guidance, I have my online course. I already have like around 200 students enrolled in the course who are like getting constant guidance and the best guidance possible for applying for German public universities. So there I deal with all of the document reviews, all of the questions that students have from the time they're enrolled in the course till the time their master's is done. So like nobody else is going to offer you that ever, because they just like treat most of the students as customers, and well, I treat them as students. That's the story. And that's the entire difference. So go and check the course out. The link is going to be in the description, and I'm going to see you in another video. Bye.